into place. We're building a community that forever stays. Rolling thunder, crushing plains, reaching winds for telling gains. Crystal weight in the lands afar, with every time we raise the bar. Sarah stands tall, eyes on the track, guiding our journey, never looking back. Silver shade, hands on the throttle, we ride the creation full throttle. Rock the subscribe button, don't hesitate. Join our crew, it's never too late. Thumbs up, hearts racing, come into blaze. We're building a community that forever stays.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Silvershade here, back on Planet Flatulence in Satisfactory. Yes, I call it Planet Flatulence. It's called something else, but this planet's full of gas. That's why I call it Planet Flatulence. Hi, Sarah. Welcome on in. Yep, looks like you were dancing to the intro music there at the startup screen. That is pretty catchy, isn't it? All right, so basically what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be working on floors 3 and 4 of the battery backup building today. But before I get into that, I thought I'd give everyone a tour of what I have been doing off screen. I've been basically getting things prepped so that as we add the floors, it get a little easier for part of the design. I have finished these windows down here. Of course, I'm going to pass this train right here, which I think look absolutely fantastic. These windows here, this design, I was working on them on the last stream. Didn't finish them. I think I was still working on the design. And I finished it off stream, especially on the interior part. And I got to say, this looks absolutely fantastic. Yeah, working on some of the a little bit of the design here and there on the outside, but I'm going to take you on inside, and you can kind of see what I've been doing for the floors 1 and 2. We're going to go in through the entranceway right here. So as you can see, a lot of this is probably going to be similar if you've been watching the streams, because I did a lot of this on stream, but some of it I didn't do because it was just you couldn't see, so I had to do it off stream. But I have, but it's a little bit brighter in here now, and I've done some of the textures. I've added some extra lights. I mean, it looks fantastic. I'll still kind of have to use the flashlight a little bit, but it is a lot nicer looking in here. You got these cables really finish it off. Looks really nice in here. Got some of the floor number down here. Yep, I changed the elevator color to copper. The asphalt flooring. Down here wasn't a whole lot I can do because I got all this sand in here. If I really wanted to avoid the sand, I probably could have built it up a little bit more, but that's okay. This is a good challenge. And like I said, most times people are not going to be coming in here except for maybe me. And out, even then, I doubt I'm hardly ever going to be coming in here for quite a while. So, yeah. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go to the second floor. Second floor is the like floor, so don't forget to like the stream here, especially if you're enjoying what you're seeing. And as you can see, I've got the floor down here. I've changed the layout a bit. Got some really nice things in here. Hi, Deleted. Welcome on in. Glad you could make it. Yeah, I got the elevator shaft. I've decorated around that. A little bit of a tight squeeze, but like I said, I'm not really gonna be coming in here all that often. This I could probably turn the light off. It's a lot brighter in here, as I think because of the windows, they add more light in here. But this is just really nice, especially with these windows and this design that I've on the walls here. It really makes it stand out. Yeah, back here in the corner, yeah, because there's not much back there. Get the rocks. Eventually, as it goes up, I'll start be able to build back here because those rocks will start to disappear. But yeah, you get the different vents. These vents were also added in 1.1, so I think they really help add to the design. You know, these pillars here were added. These cables were added. So yeah, it's this. I mean, I love the view, especially the view of the train stations from out here. It's really cool. And then some of these were added here. These basically shelves. So there wasn't enough room to put more batteries, so I figured, well, what the heck? I'll go ahead and I'll put some shelves in here and put some of the storage boxes we have in the game out here, so it makes it look like it's also acts as storage too. You know, especially if you got, you know, if you're like role playing, it's like, well, you got to repair things, so you need tools and things like that, or med kits, so so you need stuff like that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll go to the third floor, which is the subscribe floor. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It does help us out. Fourth floor, I'll show in a second, which is our follow floor for Twitch. But as you can see, I'm beginning to work on, the batteries are all in place here on the third floor, but we'll start working on the design here in a minute. And I'll see how much of the design I can do with the floor open, but I may have to enclose it all and work a lot of it off stream. And then of course we have our Twitch floor to follow. If you're watching over on Twitch, please follow on my Twitch channel there. Will greatly help us out. It looks like I've got to have to do the copper on here too. I can do that real fast. Like that. Let me go back down and check that. Oh, I can just jump down. It's faster. Let's see, did that get copperized? It did. Good. Okay. So yeah, obviously this is the fourth floor, so not a whole lot on the fourth floor yet. But there will be. There will be here. We'll get it going. But I needed to, obviously, it takes a bit. You got to get the you got to get what where the floors are going to go, and then you got to get the designs and stuff like that. I did off screen build this. I figured this was something to help tie it in to this little pillar right here with the radio control tower. So yeah, it's really, really cool. It's turning out really nice. Smack into the cable. All right, so now we're gonna get started here. So we're gonna see about these windows here. Turn the light on. It's a little bit dark, and it looks like, yep, I've already kind of started the preliminary work. So now it looks like we are ready to start putting in the windows. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, the easiest solution is just come right on down here and go click and grab the window. It's much easier to grab the window. And we're going to put it right there. We're going to go and just nudge it into place where it belongs. I think that looks good. I think right there. Yep. Yep, I think that looks good. And let me go ahead and turn on the zooper. Something feels off. Yeah, this feels off. This doesn't feel right. Because there should only be 3 windows. But maybe... Oh, I think I see it. I think I see it. I see it. I see it right here. Yep, I see it. That's it right there. Okay, I see the issue. That's why it's off. This is too big. We're gonna fix that right now. Make sure we get that all vertical. Okay, there we go. All right, now we can take that and put them in place. There we go. Easy fix. Go ahead and let's go ahead and zoop these wrong way. Zoop them up. Because these are going to be solid anyway. Okay, there we go. Nice. Now we can put these freaking windows in. And then we'll start doing this on this other side too. Because once we kind of get the outside in place, then we can start working on the design for the outside. Then we could go ahead and start working toward the interior. And then what I'm going to try to do is see if I can't, while it's open, go ahead and work on some of the interior design while it's open and do as much as I can before I have to fully enclose it. Because once it gets enclosed, it gets dark in there. And it turns out I actually had the global illumination off. So when I turned it on, it made it even darker. So I was like, yeah, that was no good. No good at all. Hi, Dantua. Welcome on in. Glad you could make it. Hope you're all having a good day. My day is much better than it was yesterday, which is good. Still hot today. I'm still going to have to leave a little early to go pick up Sarah. It's still going to be over 100 degrees Fahrenheit here today. So, yeah, not fun at all. Not fun at all. And for anyone that doesn't know... Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. For anyone that doesn't know Fahrenheit, let me put it this way. Freaking hot. That's all you need to know. It's freaking hot. And again, thank you for the subscription. We do appreciate it. Yep. Well, like I always try to say, tomorrow's always a better day. So you may be having a crappy day today, but tomorrow will be a better day. And if it isn't, well, you just keep thinking that tomorrow, the next day is going to be a better day, and at some point you will hit a better day. All right. Okay, there we go. So now we got the windows in place. And the cool part is now we can kind of see where we're at. Okay, yep, I want to do this. Yep, that's definitely a great way of thinking of it. Yep. Because you just don't know what's coming around the bend on the other side. And default, that's what I want right there. Just get these windows in. I like these round concrete beams. I really do. They're a really nice addition to the game. Because it really helps, because it's like when you try to do the windows curved, sometimes you get stuff like this, like right here, and it's like, yeah, it's a nice design, but sometimes you want to cover that with something a little different. And so these beams, I mean, you could use some of the other beams, which would help too. And I'll kind of give an idea what those look like here. Let me get this one in place. So yeah, I love the concrete beams, a nice little rounded, but if I wanted to change it and go, let's say with a metal beam, I could do that. So I could put a metal beam in place like that. So that's just another option. If you didn't want to use the round concrete beams, you could use these particular beams if you wanted to. Or another option, because there's many different beams. So you could use a painted beam and put it in place. And then you can these you can color, the other two you couldn't color. So if I wanted to, let's say, go with that, I could change that color, which I might do something like that. I might change the different floors depending. We'll have to see. But I like to try and keep it uniform. But I'm just giving examples of if you're looking for building ideas with these beams, you don't have to use just that beam. There's many different beams. I mean, not many, but a few. There's one, two. We've got H-beam, shelf beam. So these were added. This was the braided cable cluster, round concrete beam, shelf beam, and the I-beam. These were all just added in the 1.1 update. So for a while, the only beams we had to work with were just these two right there. So I love that these now give us a little bit more variety. So now if I wanted to do an H-beam, what I would need to do, oh, see, it's still, I can't rotate it. So it's pretty much going to be the same. It's going to stick out a little bit. So, but you could use the H-beam if you wanted to. You most certainly could. Just depends on the design you're going for. Or if you want to do like the shelf beam, you could do that too. And I'm going to put that in. So it sticks out a little bit. It depends on what the look you're looking for. I don't really like, I mean, I like the front part. I like with the little rivets or divots, whatever you want to call them. I like that, but I don't like, for this particular application, the way those lines are sticking out. Now, I have used that shelf beam right here. That's what the shelf beam is, to give that kind of a texture. I did do that. So, but yeah, that's just some of the different beams we have. Or you can just leave it just like that and not put any beams. It's just, how creative you want to be. But I like these rounded concrete beams. So for the design, I'm going to go ahead and put the concrete beams in. Let's see, did I put some down that way? No, I didn't. Okay, that's okay. All right. Nope, but I did. Nope, I didn't do that. I did the outer part. Okay, yeah, I could do the outer part with this. Let's see. How did I? Okay, here's the easy way. Go like that. Which I'm going to have to do that anyway, so that's cool. But if I wanted to get rid of it, like once I put it in, if I needed to like see what I'm doing, I can go ahead and just temporarily get rid of that, and now I can see what I'm doing, and then I can just quickly put it back. So yeah, just like that. All right, so now we want to go ahead. Let's go over here to the other side. Over here. Oh, I don't know why that's sticking out like that. But easy to get rid of. All right. Let's see. There. Yep, looks good. Okay, now we can go ahead and we can start putting in. Yeah, that's at a diagonal. That's how I do it. There we go. Is that good? Kind of how I did that? Nope. No, I know what I did. I think I did do... Oop, that's not what I wanted. I don't know if it was a diagonal or the free form. Here, let's find out. Free form. Yeah, I think it was the free form. I think I went too... Let me go and let me redo that one. We'll start it right there. There we go. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, it is a really nice design. And, you know, not everyone is gonna, you know, be able to have the, everyone has their own level of creativity. You know, some people are fine with just putting the machines out in the open, and that's okay too. If anything, that's more ideal and doesn't hit the computer resources as hard. Whereas you start putting all these in a location, yeah, the computer has to start working a lot harder. So, so yeah, it has its trade-offs. Yes, it's nice to look at, but the computer has to work harder when you have all these elements on screen. And a lot of this too is just trial and error. Or at least for me. I mean, I kind of know what I want, but it's hard when you're limited with the type of materials that we have to build with. So you kind of have to just kind of mess with it. There we go. So now I got to do the top. Probably the easiest thing to do is go ahead and take this. Put this here. Yep, I might as well go and just run it all the way up. That's the easiest thing. Just run it all the way up. I don't foresee having to remove it, and if I have to, at least I know what the design is. So, because then by doing that, it also helps, it speeds up the process because now it's already in place. And I gotta watch out for trains because depending on what I'm doing, they will knock my butt way away from where I'm building. I've seen it happen many times. See, go right there, there, right, yep. And it's always best, don't rush, because when you rush, that's when you make mistakes. I mean, it doesn't have to be completely perfect, and it's not gonna be. But take your time with it. If you don't like something, redo it and find a way to make it work for you. Even if it doesn't quite look the way you want it to, most times people are not gonna see it. Even if you show it to them, they're not gonna go, oh, that's not right. That's not right. Most times people are going to go, oh, that is so cool. They're not even going to point out the flaws. And a lot of times, like, how often am I going to go over and go, oh, no, that's not right. That's, you know, yeah, you know, things are never going to be perfect. But you make them look as good as you possibly can, and that's all that really matters. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and copy that. All right, I'm going to rotate it around, and I like the nudge. Actually, let me do that again. The reason why I want to do it again is the arrows really help me here. lining up when I nudge. Right there. Because you see that metal? They line up right in the middle of that, and that's what I want. And then I just nudge it down. See? Right there. It's pretty much right in the middle of that metal. And that's what I'm looking for. Makes it easy for me to line it up. So even if I can't see it, I know right where it's at. And once you do it enough, because before I used to have to come over and go, is it in enough? Is it in enough? But eventually, as you do it, you'll know how many clicks it needs, how many keystrokes it needs in order to get it into place. Now, if you're on a controller, that's a little bit different. I've not used a controller. But I just know roughly what I have to do to get it into place. And then once you know, it speeds the process up because you're not having to stop and go, wait, is it lined up right? Is it not? You know, that kind of, all that stuff. You know. I kind of screwed that one up. Yeah, I screwed that one up. I hit the key. I hit a key when I shouldn't have. So yeah, like that. And like that. Let's see. There we go. Sometimes these end ones can be a little tricky. Just double check this end one. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Yeah, these end ones can be a little tricky. There we go. And it's okay, because what's going to happen is I'm going to be, even if it's going to overlap, and that's okay if there's a little bit of overlap, because I'm going to be using the same color panels on the inside. So that's going to hide that. So that's not a big deal. As a matter of fact, why don't we go ahead and let's do that now. Go ahead and turn that off. Head on down. And the cool part is because it's just sticking out, I can just go like that. Oh, you know what? Before I can do that, I'm going to have to do that in here too. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think I just framed this. And I need the light over here. And if the design is a little different from floor to floor, it's okay. That makes it unique. Nothing wrong with that. Unique is good. Little variety. Nothing wrong with that. But it does help that, especially once you kind of know the pattern or the look of what you're going for. It does help speed things up, because if you were watching the first stream where I started this, you could see it took me a while to really kind of figure out the pattern I was looking for and what materials and colors I wanted to use. But now you notice, since I know, I can pretty much almost go on autopilot. You know, basically I can talk and put things in at the same time. Before, I kind of had to stop and think because I didn't know what I wanted. Now, since I already know, I can just pretty much start talking, and just my brain does the work, goes onto autopilot, and I can start putting in the design at the same time. All right, there we go. And like that. See, it hit it, which is what I'm looking for. And because it's all the same, you can't see. I'll show you here in a second. Let me get this panel in. You can't see the seams unless I hover over. And so that's the cool part, is because at least here, And these windows hide the seams, which is cool. So you can, it looks all seamless, which is really nice. And we're gonna slap this one in. And if you're gonna do building designs of your own, my suggestion would be first is get the basic parts of what you're going to use first. For example, like if you're gonna use these signs, make sure you have all the materials being manufactured before you start doing it, and then use the dimensional depot to keep you supplied, because otherwise, if you don't, you're going to be running back and forth, or have to do like we used to have to do, and what I used to have to do in the old days is get a train, run a train line to where I'm going to be building, fill up the car, you know, the cargo with all the materials I need, and then have to keep going back and forth to the train. And then when the train was empty, back the train all the way up to my storage facility where I was, at the time I was storing everything, fill it back up, then drive the train all the way back. It was just a pain in the rear to have to do that. So save yourself some headache. Get all the building materials that you think you're going to use. Get them all being manufactured and then stuck into the dimensional depot. It'll save you a headache of having to go through what we used to have to do before the dimensional depots. You'll like it a lot better than having to do what we used to have to do. All right, so now that window is we're almost done with the window. Almost done with the window. We have a little bit more to do, and then that window will be done. But the easiest thing I'm going to do, since these are the same windows, I could go around to all the way and get it, but these are the same size, so these will work. And we're going to slap them in place here. These upper parts are a little bit tougher to work on. There we go. Yeah, see, like I said, it's those corners can be a little problematic. But once you get past those corners, you should be good. And of course, using a not jetpack. Well, I'm using the hover pack because I hate the jetpack. Just because I'm afraid of heights and it constantly uses fuel. This one just uses the electric grid. So I'm good with that. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, working on the upper part it's a little slower than the bottom part. But I would suggest, I mean, if you like the jetpack, great. You can definitely use it. But my suggestion would be, if you're gonna build, use the hover pack. And have electricity in the area so that you can fly around. Makes building a lot easier. I mean, yeah, I'm afraid of heights, but at least with this, it's not as bad. And the only time I got to worry is when the power runs out or goes off and I'm high. Then I got a little problem with heights, but for the most part, I'm okay with just using the hover pack here. Yeah, right here. This the hover pack. And for the people on the vertical who can't see it, it basically uses 100 megawatts of power, and allows us to move vertically, hover in the air, all that good stuff, and definitely helps with building. So, that's what I would strongly suggest using if you're gonna do buildings or any kind of building in general, not just layouts like this. Okay, no problem, Sarah. There we go. And I'm going to keep that because I'm going to need it. Okay, there we go. I might have been able to grab it on this side, but it's just play it safe. All right, and we're going to land. It's going to make it a little easier. Yeah, there we go. Just going to make it that much easier to build. Because I don't have to constantly have to keep repositioning myself with the hover pack. All right. All right, there we go. That one looks good. Yep. Yeah, as you can see, it does the same thing here too. You can see, you can't see the seam until I hover over it, which that's good. I like that. Sometimes it's good to not be able to see the seams. It makes it look nicer. Of course, it's dark out, but yeah, it's really, the windows look really nice. All right, so now that takes care of that side with the window. Now we're going to start working over here. As a matter of fact, I don't think we need to worry about the window over here because I think it's too close. Yeah, it would start not here, be where the rocks are. So we don't have to worry about the window on this side. So for windows, we're done on that side. However, over here, we put the window in here. And do we have to worry about the window over here? Yes, as a matter of fact, we're going to put a window in here too. All right, so the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to turn the vertical zoom back on. And we're going to go and just fill in this hole. Zooping really saves a lot of time. We used to have to do things the old-fashioned way. So to do what I just did, if we didn't have zoop, it would be like this. Like that. Piece by piece. That was a nightmare. That was nasty. Okay, so what I gotta do now is I do need to bring part of the floor in. I do want it back on default. Because this is, yeah, right there. That's where the window's going to start, is right here. So I do need, let's put that right there. There we go. All right, so that's that. All right, so now that that's in place, now we can just start putting these in. That one. Just like that. There we go. So now that that's in place, now we can start working on this window over here. Let me just grab that. And we just put these in. And they did add a change. Because before, when you put something in, if I did that, and say I wanted copper, and it was already copper, what I have to do is put it down and then recolor it. Now what happens is when you got something that's copper, it automatically keeps all the same properties of what you put on it. So that's a big time saver, especially for building. Really makes a difference. So as you can see, there's the copper there. Because before what I had to do was once I put it, copied it, then I'd have to go back and put the color I wanted. Now I don't have to do that. It's got all the color there for me, which is awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to need, well, what don't, oh, wow, I'm not going to worry about that because there's going to be stuff here anyway. So not going to worry about that too much, but I am going to go ahead and that back on default. Yeah, there we go. And run it up. Come over here, especially while I've got it. I might as well go ahead and just run it all the way up. I think I gotta do that on the other side too. I might as well do that real quick. Since it is part of the design, it saves time if I do it now. Did I not do that on this side? No, I didn't. I'll do it now. Yeah, there we go. And I'll check the other side too while I'm at it. Okay, there we go. We'll go check the other side now. And that happens a lot when building. You go, oh crap, I forgot something on the other side. Oh yeah, see right here. Oh. Okay, and over here. Yep, do that. Okay, there we go. That takes care of this side for now. But yeah, building around these rocks is definitely a challenge, that's for sure. But it does make the interior look rather interesting, that's for sure. I hate when the lighting all bugs out. All right. Oh, I see. I didn't need to do... did I need to do that? Let me see. Yes, I did. I did need to do that. Okay, yep, I did. Yeah, I did have to do that. Okay. Yep, I did have to do it along here. Okay, that's fine. All right. Go like that. And we'll just fill these in. And there we go. Take care of that. Might as well go ahead and do here as well. Yeah, I don't remember if I ran it all the way up, but I can always add that later. Not an issue. There we go. Yep, perfect. All right. Continue with this. Oh, I better get that off default. Let me turn that off. Undo that because I need to get it off default. Oops, wrong one. Right there, freeform. Perfect. And we just fill this in. When it's dark, it's really hard to see. Okay, there we go. That takes care of that. I think I'm going to get a quick drink here. Okay. Oh, that one did not get high enough. Now it did. Running into the battery. Stop that. Stop hitting those batteries. What'd they ever do to you? Okay. There we go. All right, and there's that outline. Yay! And so far, I think the trains have been behaving themselves. I'm gonna knock on wood real quick. 'Cause I think I finally got that all sorted out at least. And it still ain't perfect, but at least I haven't had to stop and go over there. All right. All right. Now we're going to move these in. The zooper's on. Okay. All right, there we go. Yeah, with this in place, with those bars, it makes it a little bit harder to line them up. So I probably should have put the windows in first, but it did make it easier to get the framing in for to frame that first. So it's kind of like I don't know, but I can always nudge them in if they're not lined up right. So that's not a big deal. All right. Go. Is that lined up right? Nope, I think it's too high. And it's not back enough. There we go. Boom. There we go. All right, now we can go ahead and those are not right. I could tell right away. That one is too far. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Too much of a gap. Even that one's... Let me see. Is that going to be right? Yeah, that's too much of a gap. That's because there's no gap there. That's why there's too much of a gap. This one has no gap. There we go. All right, I think we got it. Yep, that's why... That's a pretty big gap. That one looks like it's too small. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Yeah, that's too... Yeah, yeah. Looks like for some reason these windows aren't going in right. That's fine. We'll fix it. That looks like that's where that window is supposed to go. That window is right. This one is wrong. I think that is the right positioning. Yep, looks good. Okay, so let's go and let's put these in now. I think that's right. No, it's still... Let me go check the other side. See if it's like that. Yeah, see, no, that's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, those aren't right. I'm gonna go ahead and... Let's see. Some of the windows don't look right. I mean, that looks okay. I don't know. I'll tell you what, I'm going to rip these out. And I'm going to go ahead and rip this out. Because I think this is interfering for some reason. Because if I can get these looking right, we'll be fine. Or at least close enough. It's just, even because I saw there were still some gaps weren't right here. Okay, that looks like that's where it's supposed to be. Okay, that one looks where it's supposed to be. Okay, yep, looks good. Yep, the sizes look right. That one is not where it's supposed to be. There we go. There, that's better. That one was not wanting to line up for some reason. Yeah, those. So I think it's better, if anything, do most of it and then maybe leave like one row out and then go back and we'll hit it again. I think that's going to be the easiest because at least here I could quickly fly up and over. But if I had this all enclosed, I'd have to fly in through the windows and stuff. So, yeah. All right. Now I think we can go ahead and I'm going to put this back. Actually, before I put it back, let's make sure these are where they're supposed to be. So far, so good. Yep. Yep. I think we got it. There we go. One more. Close enough. Might be a little off on that one, but good enough. Good enough. Okay, knock it off. Behave yourself. I hate it when the stuff doesn't want to behave. All right. All right, there we go. Now we're going to start putting these back in. How's that look? Looks good. Sometimes they just, when I go to line them up, they don't line up right. Go. All right, there we go. All right, we just gotta put this one in. All right, and while we still got it, we'll just go fly up and over. And put it down. Oh, too high. And of course, now that I've done that, all right, that, there we go. There. Good enough. We'll take it. Okay. There we go. I like this nudge, I really do. Especially the upgraded nudge that they've added in 1.1. Now we can go vertical and unlimited. Love it. Makes things makes building so much easier. Sometimes I go to put something and it's like, darn it, if I could just move it just a hair more. Now we can. All right, there we go. Looks good. That's all in. All right, so now we just got to grab the light. And I think, yeah, we can just grab that one. Go. Okay. And once we get these windows in place, we'll be able to figure out, yeah, the other, yeah, last set of windows on this floor. Then we'll figure out what we want to do next. Okay. Go. Close enough. Okay, good. So that window's in place. And we do have one more window to do, which is a much smaller window. So it should go much quicker, because it is a lot smaller than the other windows. Then we can decide what we might do. What I might do is, now that that window's in place, maybe finish out this design right here, along here, and maybe up to here. And then we'll go up from there. Yep, I think that's what we're probably going to do. But first thing we need to do is get our floor in. Turn off the zoop. I don't want the zoop. Need to make sure we get it. Yep. Lined up just right with the curve. All right, so that's where that one needs to go. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh yeah, I'm working on. Oh yeah, I was going up there to do that window, and I gotta do this one. Well, that's okay because I need this here anyway, because I need to be able to figure out where this is all going. Yeah, so that I kind of needed that anyway, and eventually we're gonna have to do that anyhow, so it didn't really matter. All right, so that takes care of that. All right, and so yeah, we're gonna have to put this one in too. All right, there we go. That's all enclosed. So let's grab our copper. Get to the copper. All right. Yeah, much smaller window, that's for sure. And I'm going to go on ahead. I'm just going to slap these in, right? So right now, so we do it right. Turn on the zoop. Just like that. There we go. Grab this. All right. There we go. And that'll help with the outside too. So the outside will then be getting taken care of. There and there. Good. Grab that. Put this in its place. Lines up right. Yep, looks good. All right, there we go. All right, now we'll do the light inside, which I didn't even do that one. Holy crap. But you know what? We'll take care of that right now. We'll do that one right now. Get that taken care of. Take care of that, since I was going to need it for the other side anyway, so I might as well. Let's get it done real quick. There we go. Perfect. Yep, took care of that little gap. All right, now we'll go ahead and we'll finish the interior here, and then we'll move to the outside. Okay, there we go. So that now for the windows, that's all done. All right, so let's grab that. Oh wait, I need to do the outside part before I can use those. And I got them on the outside now, so it doesn't matter. All right. So now the beam diagonal. Oh, no, not diagonal. Freeform. That's what I want. Freeform. Okay, there's that. Here. All right, there we go. All right, now I just got to do the bottom part and the top part too. All right, let's get that. And it's only a few panels, so it won't take us too long. Okay, there's that part. Now we just need to get the top part. I hate it when it does that. Moved on me. Stop that. There. There we go. All right, there we go. Yeah, so that's all done. Okay. All right, so now what we probably want to do is work on down here. Get this pattern here and probably up through here. I think that's what we want to do. But I'm wondering if we should maybe change it out a bit. I don't know. You know, a little bit different. Yeah, how do we want to do this? Let me pull these up. All right, that's what I think we're working with. And I'm going to grab another quick drink here. Okay, so let's see. So we've got here. Let's see, where is that? Is that it? Let's see. Oh yeah. You know what? I might do that. I may have to push it back. Let's see. What if I back just a hair? Yeah. See that? I like it, but I don't. And the reason why, I'm going to put it in so you can see. Because you can still see this fighting here. But I might be able to fix that. Let me just see something. No. Unless I'm not giving up on it. I think I might be able to fix it. So if I go right there. No. I may have to nudge it. So if I do that, nudge it forward just a hair. I think I can do it if I go like this. See, I gotta nudge it up a hair. Then go like that. And once I go like that, then... Oh. Maybe go like here. Nudge up. Yeah, I could do that. It's not perfect looking, but that's okay. I might be able to kind of... Yeah, I can hide that like that. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, and then it hides that. Oh, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, and that's a good idea. I think I'm going to do that. Knock that off. Go in where you're supposed to. Yeah, like that. There we go. Yep. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, let's see. What about if I went like this? Yeah. Okay. It's a little off on the pattern, but it's okay. Pattern, it's just different. That's all. But it looks nicer. Yeah, I kind of like that. It ties that in. It makes it look, you know, like, okay, now you got the different, like a floor separator. Even though I know you got 1 and 2 here, but then you got 3 and 4. But it does look good. I like that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that all the way around. There we go. Yep, just like that. And when we get to these straight parts, it goes quicker because I don't have to worry about nudging a thing. Okay. right, there we go. And now go finish the pattern on the other side. And then we'll get to the concrete round and take care of that. Figure out what we want to do for the rest. Where am I going? I'm going crazy, I'm telling you. Okay. Ooh, must be a rock right there. All right, here we go. Straight away into the rock. Okay. Yeah, it's looking a lot better. Of course, dark over here on this side. But yeah, that's looking good. Yeah, we need to finish the pattern here, so let's get going on that. I think I said the easiest thing to do is freeform. Can I do diagonal on that? No. Freeform was probably better. It's going to be a little tricky. But I'll get it. A little slow too, but unfortunately sometimes you have to go slow. You don't have a choice. But we do the best we can with what we got, and as fast we go as fast as we can as well. Looks like I'm on a straightaway, so I can go ahead and just go default mode. And then just go straight across. That saves time right there. All right, so I'm going to have to do that here too, I think. I think that's what I was going to do. I haven't decided. But I think that might be good. But I might wait on that till I figure out what I'm going to do. So yeah, that side's all done. So let's get over here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm... You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. But let's wait. Let's get this in first. Here. Got that one. A little ways to go till we get to the next straightaway. Okay. Go. Take care of that. Almost to the straightaway. I can just go like that and that. And now we're on a straightaway. Yay! And we just go right across. Boom. As a matter of fact, while I've got it, I might also go ahead and just go right here. Oh, no, that's a diagonal. Yeah, I think that actually is a diagonal. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I think it is a diagonal. It's just because it's in the wall. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll fix that. And we'll just go like that. There we go. Takes care of that. Oh, wait. Nope. That's not what I wanted. Wrong part. It's down here. All right. Well, that's all right. We'll fix that. And, oh, that's right. I got to come here. Here. There we go. That. I just had it. Come on. There. I'll take that. Actually, I think that's not right. All right, well, we'll fix that. All right, there we go. Good enough. Good enough. That'll... Yeah, it's in the corner, so it ain't gonna matter. Those corners can be tricky when they got the rocks right there. Yeah, not a whole lot I can do about that. All right. So now we need to figure out how we want to go about. Let's see. Let's see. Where's the fourth floor? Oh, yeah. It's gonna be... I'm gonna punch a hole. This is the floor right here. Let me grab that and put that right there. Because at least what that'll do is this will at least tell me where the window is gonna start. You know, because right here, it's gonna start right here at the top. So that'll help me determine where I need to start the pattern. All right, let's see, or at least where to stop the pattern. Put that out, put that right there. Okay. Okay. Just trying to think how I want to do this. Once I get rid of that, it's going to be... I do have that up there. All right, yeah, that'll be fine. Let's cut this all out. Knock that out. Might as well at least get the framework that... at least this part in. Turn off the zooper. Okay, because at least that'll establish that. Yeah, I hate it when I hit the wrong frickin' button. Or put things where they don't frickin' belong. All right, these can all come out. This in. There we go. At least this will kind of start to establish the fourth, start filling in the fourth floor and where we're going to want to put the design for the outside. Because at least that gives us some room to work with, even if we don't put those windows in yet. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is, while I'm at it, let's vertical zoop these up. Might as well, because they're going to get filled in anyway. There we go. Okay. Eventually up here, this is going to be interesting. Depends on how the floors are going to be. This could be rather interesting. So I may have to kind of maybe make one floor a little bit higher. We'll know once I get higher up, but this ought to be interesting right through here, especially over here. I'll have to figure something out because I want to make sure I keep this open. So I think I figured it out. I could put a miner right there on the outside and not really affect the design too much. Yeah, so just, yeah, as long as it's like that. Did I have I could actually build? It looks like it's going to be into the design a little bit, but that's okay. That's all right. Not much. I could probably try to rotate it and figure something out, but that'll be all right. That'll be all right. Yeah, that'll be something problem I'll have to solve later. See, I should have moved this out a little bit further when I started building it, and that would have helped solve that. But when I did it, I didn't realize until I started building up with the circular format where this was all going to land. So unfortunately, because I already started it and got too far in, it was just too late to do that. So I'll have to figure that out, but that's okay. That's a problem for another day. So that's all there. I'm going to take this. All right. And now I'll go ahead and do that. Let's see. Just in case. Can I get the miner in there? Materials missing, overlapping. Clipping may occur. Well, let's just quickly find out. Since I'm here, it won't take long. And it's good to break things up a little bit. The monotony of doing the same thing over and over and over again. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Portable miner. 3 of them. All right, there we go. Clear that off. And where's my miner? Right there. Rotate it around. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave it built there. Just so, and then I can always remove it later if I need to. I might be able to do something different for this section. I may incorporate it and bring it out, even though it's in a circle, bring it out and incorporate it into the design. And then, so it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Well, fancy meaning in a circle. I think I'm out of power. I'm on the border edge. And then that way it can do something incorporated into it, maybe a slanted roof off of here and down. And then you get the belts going out. Yeah, I'll figure that out, but at least here this kind of gives me an idea, and I'll just leave all that right now. Actually, I can go ahead and take these. I don't think I'm going to need these anymore. I can get rid of those. Yeah, might as well get rid of them. I can always do them again, but I've already got the foundations, everything in place. Yeah, I definitely run out of power. So yeah, I got another issue up here too, but not as bad on this one. And not as bad on this one. Because that node is a little bit further away from the wall. So we're good on that node. there. Get rid of all that. So yeah, the building is definitely taking shape, that's for sure. We're getting there. But yeah, see, it's interesting as you know, as the rock, as we come up to how the rock, you know, this rock back here will eventually give way on the next level. But we still have all these rocks here, so it's not quite. I have to see once I get up there whether I'm going to be able to fit a battery behind it. I will once I start getting up high enough, be able to go all the way around. If I were to do this again, I think I would slide it further out, is what I would do. I think the reason why is I had these rail lines in place, but I could have moved them and reworked it and then maybe moved it out. Maybe so the edge of the building is like here and then rework everything else. And then that would give me, that I think would probably clear that up there a little bit. But I do like that it's kind of built into the rock. I do like that too. I really do. Turn off the zooper. Might as well slowly start getting the floor in. Just leave it like that. Still got the zoop on. I don't want the zoop on. We'll go ahead and just put that there. Perfect. Perfect. All right, and so we know these gotta come out. And this has gotta go in. Okay, and to help out so I know exactly where these windows got to stop, I'm not going to put them all in. All I'm going to do is this, nudge this one in place, go up to, take this, let me get my vertical zooper. Up to there, and then remove these, and now at least this now gives me a guide for where the top of the ones are going to go. So that tells me where the rest are going to go. So that'll help me out right there, because I didn't do that before. So I was trying to get, you saw in the beginning of the stream, it's like, okay, no wait, those are too high. So now this will help me as a guide for all the rest. And I believe, yep, no need for the windows there. And that one needs to come out. Yep. Right there and there. Yep, perfect. All right, so that looks like those are all the bottom of the windows. I think we get another quick drink here. Okay. All right, so that takes care of that. So now we need to figure out how we want to do this. And the point we want to kind of stop at is like right here. Because I know these are a little off because of that. That knocked those out of whack. But that's okay. That's all right. Because I think eventually they'll get in line, like right, kind of like right, a little bit in here. It's still not quite in line. I mean, worst case, if I needed it, if it's that close, I could then remove it and move it up. I could definitely do that. As a matter of fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go ahead. Oh, it's only one of those. Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and, oh, no, it's the whole thing. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And then I might need to do a different design for that. We'll see. Actually, I might take those out. Let's take these out. Take those out for now. And I might run those lights up. We'll see. I've got to see how the pattern goes. But right now, we're going to be coming up to a, roughly right about here. Because then we want to keep the pattern in line with here. So this is our imaginary stopping line right along here. So now the question is, how do we want to do that? Yeah, I guess use that again. Because we haven't used it. Yeah, we used it down there. And we could take it and go up to the, yeah, we could do that. Let's just see how that looks. Okay, yep. Like that, and like that. Okay. Those might be able to get nudged down a little bit. Let's go and let's dismantle that. Dismantle that. Let's take that. Ball. Trains in the way. Or do I want that solid for a bit? I'm not sure. See, it's so hard to tell. Or was I going to come down here? I think I was going to do... Oh, yeah, I was going to do here. Along here with it. Yep. Okay, so now that those are kind of in place, can I even get them in at all? You know what? Let's get these out of here. Let's figure this out. Let's figure this out. All right, let's put that in. I definitely want that right there. Okay, so now we have that in. Let's just see about that there. Put that right there. Okay. Now that's that. So yeah, that, because that would keep the pattern in line. Yes, it would. Because we can always change that as we go up, but then we'll put that right there. Let's see, how does that look? Yeah, that looks good. And we just take that. We'll have to nudge it down, of course, like that. And it's okay if it overlaps. Yep, there we go. And then all we got to do now is we can take that, find the middle right there. And now we got a vent right there. I am going to need to figure something out eventually for here, but that's for another day. Figure something out. Not sure what yet. I'm going to take them off for now, until I can figure out what I want to do. I might do something that kind of matches that. Not sure yet. All right. But that's, like I said, that's for another time. I'm just going to clear them out. Gives me a little bit more room to work. All right, so now I know that I'm doing that. So let's go and let's just finish putting this in around here to finish this off. I don't know if I want to get... yeah, I see how I did down there. So yeah, I'm going to do the same. There. There. Good. Okay, this one's diagonal. Tell you what, let's go right there. Oh. I went the wrong way. Okay, yeah, like that. And then the other cool thing to do in order to get where I want it, because I want to cover that little piece, just go in just a little bit and go boom in the rock and bring it back, and there we go. Well, those little pieces that were hard to cover, that's how you get rid of those. You can cover them just like that. Okay. Yeah, eventually that'll get all covered in. All right, so yeah, we'll have to figure out the pattern of what we want. Because this is what makes it a little bit more difficult. Well, I tell you what, why don't I get rid of that. And then I tell you what, let's put, nope. I have it. I just got to get it. It's in my blueprints here. I think it's Windows. Assign. Yep, that's the one. Okay. Yep, there we go. Yeah, and then we can run that up for a little bit. So change out the pattern a bit. Let me go and let me put that under my blueprints. I'm going to put that as number 5. Okay, so for now we need to finish with this. Oh yeah, I'm going to run this across too. Why is that? It's not at an angle. No. I can fix it. I can fix it. And just go right there. Maybe it was off. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, it was right. Okay. That, there we go. Maybe because of the way I had to start it. All right, we're good now. Fix that little issue. All right, there. Oh, let's take this. All right, good enough. There, I got that taken care of. All right, so now we want to go ahead and I think it was the, yep. that. Let's see. Down there. So it feels like I need to break this up. Because it's... Where's the light start? I think it starts up there. Starts about there. Okay. Like I said, it's because this all throws everything out of whack. All right, well, we'll start that pattern. We'll start the light pattern right about where this line is. Yeah, so we're going to go right here with it. Right there. All right, so then now we just have to figure out what to put here. First, let's put this in. Do I want to go ahead and break it up with this? Or do I want to break it up with that? Oh, ooh. That may not be a bad idea. Let's see, how does that look? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Then I can take this. Let's try to get it. Go like that with it? Yeah. Okay. Is that, can I run it? Yeah, there we go. Right there, that looks better. Yeah, that fills that in nicely. Okay. Okay. I know that's a little off, but that's okay. Yeah, so that breaks that up, and then we just take that. We just move that to the middle as best we can. There we go. Yeah. So we break the lights up. Oh, yeah, that's cool. And then we got that breaks it up, and then we start a new pattern up. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Yep, that's cool. I don't know how app I take that light pattern. We'll figure that out. Well, because I gotta wait and see. Maybe after 2 floors. That's not a bad idea. After 2 floors, and we change it up again. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna probably take a bit to get to that point. But yeah, let's see. Right. Yeah. Take that. Across to there. Too far in. Go like that. There we go. That. Whoa, see? The train pushed me. See that? I was telling you earlier. If I'm not careful, it will keep pushing me for a while. If I wasn't paying attention. It's done that too. Okay. Pause it. Go ahead while we're at it. Go ahead and just finish taking this across. There we go. That's how we fix that. All right. Let's see. Change the music. Yeah, I guess I'm a little more upbeat here. It's here. Okay. So yeah, we're doing that pattern all the way. Ooh. Freaking trains like they are trying to kill me. There we go. That right into the middle. Come on. Track was in the way. I better do it from down here. Back out a bit. All right, there we go. All right. Okay. And see, that's how you get them to line up here. If you can't do it here, you move it up a bit. And then you just nudge them in place. Just like that. Awesome. Okay. What did I did? Oh yeah, I think I did. No, wasn't that. That. Close enough. Yep. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that definitely works. All right, now what about this one? Actually, I think that might be a little too high. Try that again. Yep, I think that'll do. I may have it wrong in the other places, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. Just because it'd be too much work to try and get everything perfect. If it's just off by a little, it's okay. And it's something that can always be... If I'm working on dairy and I see it, I can always fix it while I'm there. I'm not going to stop and fix that. Unless I happen to be going that way. And even if it's off the, you know, off by hair, as long as everything else lines up fine, if that's off just a little, that's okay. But that looks like that takes care of pretty much that. And we just have this section here, but now we just gotta, now we're able to start putting start working on where the lights are gonna go now. Yeah. All right, so yeah, we're gonna do the same thing over here. Where's my zooper? Wrong zooper. Right there. And that. Grab that. That. Actually, I'm going to put that back. Because I am going to need that in there. I'll do the same thing. I'll just clean out what I don't need. Because I am going to need to fill that in and bring it all down. So, same one over here. We'll do the same thing. Actually, like I said, we'll put the windows in here. Goes right there and there. Scoop it down. Yeah, I am going to have to bring those all down because I'm going to need to be able to do that. This just gives me the stopping point for all of them. Helps if I put the windows in here. That tells me where to stop. That. Okay, there we go. Yep, that'll tell me where to stop. I gotta do that for all the that one's good. Just gotta do that for over here. This is a much smaller window. Yeah, see, eventually we're getting to the part. Yep, probably within. Doesn't look like this floor, or maybe this. Oh, you know why? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to change that. Yeah. I might not. I might keep it here. I think what I'm going to do is keep it here. Keep it like this for now. Actually, I think I am going to keep it like this because you got all the rock formations here. So I think I'm going to keep this pattern just like that. But eventually I'm going to have to change that. Yeah, eventually I am going to have to. There's just no way around that because it opens up and the rock moves away. Yeah, eventually it'll be up there, depending on how high I go. I also have to watch because that big moth that comes flying around here, and I think it comes flying right over top of this building. I thought it was already right there. Yeah, so I got to keep my eye out for it and see its flight path. I'm almost sure it flies over this building. So that's what I got to keep an eye out for. It's going to probably take me some time to figure that out, but it's not going to hinder me right now because I'm still working down here. So that's not going to affect me that much. So I'm going to grab here. I was going to slap this one in too. All right, and then I just come up here, get it on the vertical zoop, down. I might as well, while I'm at it, just do that. For this window, might as well. Turn up the vertical. There we go. And while I'm at it, I might as well go ahead, since I'm right here. This is a small window. Just slap that in. I'm not going to worry about that yet. Although I probably should. But I can always cut a hole if I have to get out quickly. Yeah, I can definitely do that. All right, let's see. Yeah, so that's in. All right, we'll just come right here. Hit the vertical zoop. So the goal is to get these 3 and 4 windows in, you know, get all the exterior in. Yeah, the 3 and 4 level exterior in. Maybe even get the facade for the 3 and 4 up as high as we got to that point. Then, if there's time, we'll have to see. I'm gonna have to cut it early today. If it still gets Sarah, because it's supposed to be really hot today. But if there's time, we'll start working on the some more of the interior of 3 and 4 before we start filling in, you know, here while we still got enough light. We can start working on it, figuring out what design we want. You know, especially for like the elevator shaft, what kind of a pattern do we want? You know, that kind of stuff on the walls, all that fun stuff. Because that way, while we have enough light, that's something I can still do on stream. Because once I enclose all that, then it gets harder to see on stream because the light is horrible until I start putting lights in. So yeah, that's horrible. But the lighting, yeah, when it's enclosed, it's hard for everyone to see. Even I struggle. So if I struggle, I can just imagine how everyone else is trying to struggle to see it. So yeah, I won't torture anyone like that. I won't put anyone through that. I'll just torture myself and do that off stream. Okay. All right. So we got that. All right, let's see. What I want to do is I'm going to get these windows in. Now, I think I'm going to punch a hole when I'm ready because I want to put the exterior pattern in. But we'll figure that out once we get to that point. Right now, we'll get these windows in. All right. That one's off. We're gonna have to fix that. Thought that looked a little weird. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right, there we go. Those windows are in. Okay, so now what I want to go ahead and do is while I'm in here, Actually, what I'm going to do is let me poke a hole in here. Ah, perfect. That's what I wanted. Right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is, since I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and do all these vertical pieces. These up and in place. Okay, we're gonna need to fix that window. That one's a little out of whack. There we go. Cool, got that. All right, while I'm still on the straight pieces. But you see what I mean? It's starting to get dark in here. Yeah, I filled that in, and now the light can barely get down in here. I think it also depends on the time of day, but you see what I mean? Now that that's been filled in, look at how dark it's getting down in here. All right, now let's go and let's get these filled in. Yeah. Oh, I didn't finish going up. There we go. Go. All right. More here, and then we'll see if we got the other ones. I think the other ones are done. We'll find out in a second here. Yep. So now all I got to do is now just start working on the interior frame, and then I'll move to the outside and get the exterior frame done. But man, this is looking really cool in here. Really, really cool. I love these the window design. It's really slick. Once I can get the black reflecting mirror and the light up there, it'll look even better. We're going to start right here. I'm going to go freeform mode. Right. That. I hate it when it does that. When it moves on me, I hate that. Okay. There we go. It's really starting to take shape there too. All right, there we go. All right, I'm gonna get a quick drink here. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and do, before we go to the outside, let's put these in. And that's really going to start to make it look nice in here. Don't worry, that's all going to blend in once I put them on the outside. There we go. Okay, we got to go over here. All right. You can just imagine how long this took me to do the floors 1 and 2, the interiors, just by seeing how long it's taken me to do what we've done today. And there's when you do the interiors, a lot more detail work inside, because the exterior, yeah, there is, but you can usually get away with like your blueprints. But when you get the interior, you can do some blueprints, but when you want intricate details, it's a little bit more detailed and not as fast. Especially when it's dark, yeah, it makes it even harder to see and slows you down. And especially when you have to, as you're going through, it's like, oh, well, this design, I like this design better, so you have to make changes. And sometimes it takes you a little longer to go, I like this design better than the previous one. Okay, so there we go. That's all in place. All right, so we got to go here. And sorry, I realized my mic was muted. All right. If you ever look like you can't hear me, yell at me, because most likely my mic is muted. Sometimes that happens. I accidentally mute it. Thanks, Sarah. I knew you would have eventually caught it. But for everyone else, yeah, if you see me talking and can't hear me, yell at me, because most likely I accidentally muted my microphone. Because sometimes I have to cough a lot, and sometimes I forget to unmute it when I'm done. Okay. Yeah, now that sticks over a little, but that's okay. That's going to get hidden. All right, so now that's there. And we got over here. Just a couple more. At least for the interior anyway. There. That takes care of the windows on the interior side. Obviously, when we get to the design of the interior of the floors, that's going to a little bit more intricate. But now we're going to go to the outside. I'm going to leave this hole there because I'm going to need... Well, actually, do I need a hole? I'm going to leave it. I'm gonna leave it for now. I'll fill it in when I don't need it. All right, so we're gonna go on ahead. Oh, it was already on free form. Go ahead and fill this in. I'm about to get smashed by a rock. Whee! Stupid rock. Okay. I'll take care of that in a second. Let's go here. Go. All right, there we go. Run that up real quick. All right, so now that that's in place, while we're still doing that, we might as well go ahead and finish these beams. The rest of the windows. I gotta say, out of this whole build, I think these windows are my favorite. They look really nice. I mean, I like everything, but I think the windows are my favorite. I really do. Oops. They just something about them. They look really nice. The design looks really cool. Hey, Majestic, welcome on in. Glad you could make it. Just busy building. Working on floors 3 and 4. If you give me a second here, I'll give you a quick tour of the interior of floors 1 and 2, because I don't think you really saw a whole lot of that. Because I did a lot of the interior work of those floors off stream. So we're gonna go inside here, go through the hole. So this is 3 and 4. 4, there's not much here. But this is 3. Obviously, still not a lot here of the design, but I figured it's better to, in case if I finish the windows on this stream, I can start working on some of the interior while before I have to do it off stream, because at least there's still some light. But you can see it's definitely getting dark. Yeah, and I'm on right now. Floor 3 is my subscribe floor. We'll head down to the ground floor. Yes, it is. Well, I figured since I'm doing the batteries, how the batteries are kind of shiny, so I figured that would be the color scheme I'd go with. So as you can see here, here's the first floor. You know, I changed the elevator so it's a nice copper to match. I got one to represent the first floor. And I've got the cabling, the lights, the light patterns over here on the wall, the textures. It turned out really nice. The second floor, the pattern is a little different. And of course, you got you saw that, you know, the nice little opening. And we'll go up to the second floor. Oh, and I'll have to show you on the outside where I did a little bridge thing for the train right out front. We're on the like floor now. So here you got, you know, it shows the second floor and the pattern. Now those are actually signs, but they're off. Thank you. Yeah, it's just, I like the industrial look since it's a battery. I like how it really turned out. That's kind of what I was going for. I was first going to try and copy this style, but I couldn't quite. So I figured as long as I use like the scheme and the shot and the metal and try to use as many textures as that, I think that'll all incorporate nicely. And underneath this glass floor is actually a sign. I'll show you. I'll take it off. It's actually a sign, and it's off and glossy. So instead of it being like the black mirror, this is now like a white mirror, and there's no light. So if I want to turn the light on, I just come over here like that and close it, and now I've got a light. But I kind of like the mirror effect with it off. And we'll just put this back. Yeah, it really is sweet. And then I did these were added, these little vent things were added in 1.1. So that kind of really helps make it look like there's a ventilation system in here. The pattern on the wall, and of course the windows. I love these windows. These windows are so freaking cool. They turned out really nice. I like everything in here, but I think these windows turned out nice. I really do. They really turned out nice. And these shelves were added in 1.1, so I had a lot of space in here, but not big enough really for another battery. I mean, I probably could have squeezed another battery in here, but it's like, you know what? We got room. Let's take advantage of it and find a way to use these. So I made like a storage area back here. I mean, you got to have a storage area. Yeah, it does make it stylish. And then you got, you know, the elevator shaft. I really made that look really nice. I like these, the way I did these corner pieces and tied this all together. It looks really nice. It's still a little dark in here, but it's not as bad as what it was. And we'll go ahead and we'll head up to the 4th floor, or the 3rd or the 4th floor. It doesn't really matter. Got our follow floor for Twitch. But I left this hole punched in here so I could just quickly fly out. And this right here, I don't know if you saw this. I think I may have done this off stream. Because I felt like it needed something, so to tie it into this tower. So I created this right here, this little, kind of like a little bridge, and I used the mirror effect right here too. So if you look, you can see how it mirrors everything behind me. The only thing is you can't really see me in the mirror. What's cool? Let me see. I can do an emoji. Finger guns. Yeah. What else? Thumbs up. Yeah. Got the clap. Oh, and that was the other thing too. That clap. Oh, that irritated the heck out of me for a while. When if you clap near, I don't think it's here. There's certain lights, if you clap near them, it turns them off. Yeah, it is interesting how to manipulate things. It really is. I don't know. I did mention this on one of my streams. I don't know if you were in it, but originally in the game, there was where things kind of overlap, where they, where they, like right here, these light, like here where you can see them kind of overlap each other. Well, they took that out. It was originally it was a bug. They took it out of the game. People were, I don't know if they were upset, but they were complaining, hey, we want that back. It's great for building. So it was a bug they put back. I think that's like the only bug I've ever known to actually be put back intentionally. Okay. Yep. I couldn't remember. Sometimes it's hard to keep this stuff straight. But yeah, so it was easy to run things up to first. So when I punch a hole for the next floor, those diagonals are in place because those were a pain to put in. But yeah, it's really cool how this all, how I made that look. It ties it into the building. Eventually, I do need to work on the trains and stuff like that. I am gonna probably next week. I'm probably gonna do Satisfactory again next week. But next week on Steam is I think it's the Factory Automation Week. So next week, I don't think I'm gonna do Expedition 33 because obviously that's not a factory automation game. So I have to figure out what days I'm going to be streaming because we may have an appointment. We may have an appointment to take our pet into the vet. We're not sure yet. We're still trying to figure that out if it's going to be that week or the week after. So I'm not sure if it'll be 2 days next week or 3 days next week. But I'm definitely going to do Satisfactory, but I don't think I'm going to continue the build next week. I'm going to focus on more of the automation of the factory, building the factories, because a couple things I want to do out here in this area. This here, what you see in front of me right there, where you see the little cursor there where I'm circling around, that is a power plant, a coal power plant that I'm actually in the process of decommissioning. I had some more over here, but I needed the coal for other things that were out in this area. So what I'm doing is I think the plan is to get rid of this plant altogether. And I got to keep an eye on my power because I got my nuclear power plant way out on the coast over there. I'm pretty sure I've showed that to you. So I may have to add more nuclear power plants once I decommission this completely. But I'll have to keep an eye on the power. And that's the main reason for building that right there. So that I can keep an eye on, in case if the power grid, before the power grid goes down, keep things from shutting off, keep the whole system from going down. Yeah, because I find it is a lot easier to fix the power grid while it's still running than try to restart the grid from a cold shutdown. I've done that before. I hate it. In this game, I hate it. Because if I ever got to that point where I'd do a cold shutdown, I would either say, forget it, I'm starting over, or it would take me hours to fix. And depends on how I'm feeling. I might try to fix it. I don't know. But anyway, I'll rip that out. And underneath there, I've got all that where I'm making all the aluminum. I might take all that aluminum production, slap it over here. Because then it'll give me some more room. I can expand other things over there if I need to. And it'll probably help me rework some of these train lines so it's not so spaghetti-like. And then what I'm going to do probably on that stream, I think the plan is to first start over here where I'm making my metal beams. I had the 2 cube things here. I've already removed them because what I'm going to do is because I have room to expand because these are not at their full production potential. I'm actually overclocking these to pump out as much as I can so I don't have to have as many machines, but I want to rework all this. So I'm going to expand because I need both of these. That I think is iron and this I think is coal coming in. Yeah, and take the iron ingots and then take the coal and make metal beams. And I'm using the metal beams over there, but I might need metal beams elsewhere, or who knows, I might, if the production increases, might need more. So, but what I want to do is get them at their max potential, get this all expanded out, and that might shrink this a little bit so it's not at such an odd angle. And so that's why I'm going to start probably next week. I think that's the plan. Work on this factory right here. So that'll be interesting, especially if you want to see how how to really get in and figure out how you want to see how the factory stuff really works. That'll be a good one to check out because you'll see how we have to do the lines and all that, and why I always say it's important to focus on one line at a time, because this will be easy. This is actually easy because you got to deal with the steel ingots, which deals with iron ingots and coal. Well, coal is real easy. It's right there. And then to make the iron ingots, all you have to do is take the iron ore in. I might as well get that out of there. Iron ore in and make the iron ingots. So this is one of the easier chains to work on. But you always got to start with the foundation. And that leads me into like your planet crafter, what you're doing. Start with the easy chains first. Get the easy chains that you need. So like on your stream, I've seen, they say, hey, how's your electronics? What you've been working on? And you've been working on those chains, and you've got the one chain that you're working on. You just got to finish getting that going. Exactly. That's exactly right. You got to focus on one chain at a time. And I know it's easy to get, when people got, hey, do this, do that, do this. And it's so easy to squirrel. I know I do it too. But the best advice I can give is set a plan, set a goal. This is what I'm doing. And it's like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Maybe we'll do that next, but I need to focus on this. And then if it gets to a point where you kind of have to wait, we'll go on that and do something else. Like when I was watching the stream yesterday, you were focusing on the plant biomass to get to the T2 gas extractor, because you did need that, I think, for your circuit boards. So that's, yeah, yeah. So, and I know it's easy to squirrel, you know, and like I said, the best thing to do is focus on one chain at a time, one thing at a time. So if you're working on the circuit boards, you focus on the objectives to get the circuit board chains done. And once you're done with that, then you can move on. Unless you get to a point where you're waiting on something, like you need to get to those the T2 gas extractor. Then at that point, it's like you keep while you're waiting on that. Now you can focus on something else and keep working on that to the gas extractor. So yeah, you just a little at a time. I know it's easy to squirrel. I know I do it too on my streams, especially when I'm building, going, oh, I'm working on this. Oh, hey, I gotta go over, you know, I do it too. It's easy. But like I said, the easiest thing to do is focus on one chain at a time. And like I said, it's, you know, as you can see, like I said, this is one of the easier chains to work on. Yeah, I can even, yeah. And the reason why this is only, this can go higher now, but it stopped here because at the time when I did this, I didn't have the higher belts. See, now I can get, I'll bring up my belts here. I can now do these Mark 6 belts, which can hold 1,200 resources at a time. Whereas before, I could only do a max of 780. So that's why this is capped at 780. Now I can bump that up even more. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, and yes. Yeah, those butterflies really are pretty. They really, really are. And I will tell you this. You're going to want to get as many chains and get things as much automated as you can before, because now you can go to, you can stay in the same save file and go to another planet or moon. And I'll tell you this from experience. Automate everything you can. Store as much as you can, because it's going to make your life so much easier once you go to another planet. Yeah, it's going to make your life, or moon, planet or moon. It is going to make your life so much easier, because once you get to that point, you can get a rocket where you can bring resources from another planet to where you're at. So you don't have to make them necessarily on the planet you're on unless you need to. You can recall them. And there's some resources that you probably can't get, or they're harder to get. So you need them from the other places. So automate and get as much get everything stored and automated as much as you can, because you're gonna need it. I spent hours before I could even consider going to another planet, because I needed to get everything sorted before I moved on. It was just nuts. I had to put extractors on just about every single node. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, that's my advice when you get back into Planet Crafter, is work on getting everything automated as you can, but do it smart. One step at a time, because otherwise you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to get it all done. Set a plan like you've been doing, stick to it, and if people are saying, hey, do this, do that, make a mental note or just write it down going, yep, that's a great idea. As soon as I get done, this is the current objective. Here's what we're going to do next. And you jot it down so you know what your next objective is. Someone is suggesting it. Yeah. It's easy to get, crazy in Planet Crafter. But it's even crazier to pull your hair out in this game, as you can see. Because you can see this is a lot more complicated than Planet Crafter, but it's still fun. It really is a lot of fun. It's different. While you're not terraforming a planet, you kind of are, but not. Nothing changes. It may be, but it may not be. It's one of those where, if you didn't want to get into like the really, really advanced stuff, and you just wanted to treat it like a sandbox and build like I'm doing, all you got to do is maybe just do like basic parts and stop. You don't have to do a lot of the advanced stuff for the elevators. You might have to do a couple of things if you need some of the stuff, but for the most part, if you're going to do like the basic buildings like I'm doing, you can build up just enough to make the materials you need to build, and that's it. And you just go to town and you just decorate the world, run lines here, build this here, do that, and not do the advanced stuff if you didn't want to. But of course, if it's not your cup of tea, I get it. It's not for everybody, and it just depends on what you want to do. But I use this as an example because when you're doing like factory automation games, especially Planet Crafter, because that is an automation game to some degree. And you have different chains, and you just have to take it a step at a time and figure out what you want to do and stick to it. And that's one of the things that I did in Planet Crafter, going, okay, this is what I need. This is what I'm going to focus on. And once I got that done, then I went, okay, what else do I need to unlock? What do I want to focus on next? And that's what I did, because it can get confusing, especially when all of a sudden you get this unlocked, that unlocked, all within 30 seconds of each other. It's like, it's just nuts. It's crazy. But yeah, so that's I think what the plan is. I'm going to work on that first next week. Work on that over there, get that sorted. And then depending on how much time there is, I might start decommissioning this and then start building up this to make all the aluminum products. And then once I have that all situated how I want it, then I'll probably start tearing that apart and running all the lines necessary. I think that's the plan. But for now, I'm going to start over there, get that sorted, for Automation Week. And because of that Automation Week, I think I'm also going to do more Outworld Station, since that's also automated. Now, if I do 3 days next week, I've got to figure out a third automation game, so I'm not sure what to do yet, unless I do this twice. I don't know yet. I don't know. So Automation Week is next week, or starts next week, I think Monday the 14th, and I think it ends the following Monday. I don't know the date on that. But that's what I'm that's what I'm planning on doing. Yeah, I don't know what Sarah's going to do for Automation Week. I know she tends to do more cozy games, and so she might be trying to look at maybe cozy automation games. I have to, if she happened to listening, she might pop in the chat here and say what she's doing. If not, it'll be on our schedule once we figure that out. But yeah, like I said, you might, if you get a chance and you happen to see her streaming, you might check out her streams, because she does something a little, she does things, leans more toward the cozy side. Not all the time, she also has a cozy channel as well, but she does tend to do a little bit of leans more toward cozy over here. So yeah, so you might check out her stuff, because she doesn't like a lot of complicated things. Okay, yeah, so she just responded. Yeah, she's got one going up on the cozy channel, but doesn't know about our channel yet. So she's still trying to figure it out. So yeah, so you may want to think about checking out if you like, you know, she has like, check out some of her stuff on her Cozy channel. I think it's Cozy Gaming with Sarah, I think. Sarah can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's it. So you might, if that's it, yeah, you know, check out her second channel. But yeah, and then once, if you see her streaming on our main channel, you might check out some of her stuff. Because, you know, she does different things than I do. Right now, she's normally doing the Oblivion Remastered in POW World. And yeah, so she's been really liking the POW World, which is kind of lean more toward cozy RPG. And then but Oblivion, she really has been getting into as well. So yeah, so like I said, she kind of leans more in toward the cozy part because she doesn't like a lot of complicated stuff either. See, I haven't called. And you haven't yet? Okay. Okay, so I think I see what you're saying. You think you're gonna postpone it until the week after. Okay. So we may be doing 3 this week. I'll get clarification from Sarah because I'm gonna have to wrap it up here in just a minute here. So yeah, that's the plan. We got automation next week. That's kind of cool. But I do got to say, from a distance, this building is looking absolutely freaking fantastic. What we've done. We pretty much there's a little bit more we got to do on the exterior. Didn't quite get all the lights in, but that's okay. So yeah, but I mean, we got quite a bit done. As you can see, we've got more and more filled in. You know, the pattern of the design. Yeah, it does. Thank you. Yeah, it does look good. I got to fill that hole in, but it's just so I can quickly get back in. But it is looking fantastic. And I'm even toying with the idea of, I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet because I want to give it like the name of a building. Instead of like, you know, the power battery backup building, I might say like, give it a building a name, maybe from like one of our subscribers or something like that. Might do that, you know, name it after one of the subscribers. I'm thinking of doing something like that. I got to figure out the details of how I'm going to do that. You know, maybe like I don't know, like maybe like a contest. I don't know about a contest, but see how people, you know, maybe a contest, like maybe people have to submit, maybe like on a stream or something, say, hey, you know, if you want to be, put your name in, you got to respond with this phrase or something like that. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something like that. I got to figure out the details. That's what I'm thinking. Whether I do that or not, I don't know yet, but I think that would be kind of cool. You know, I could see like the name of the building, but I know the main building right there that I'm gonna do like maybe a tower building at some point. But that's gonna have our channel name on it. That's not negotiable. That's gonna have since that's the main headquarters. That's got to be the channel name. But as to this here, I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see. But I do like this layout. I really do. I mean, it's looking really nice. I do like how the lights kind of come down. It's looking, and from a distance, it looked absolutely freaking fantastic. All right, so I think that's probably a good place to stop. I probably won't. I have to know what the schedule is. Tomorrow we're taking basically a rest day. We've got to go over to my parents' house. Got to help my dad put together a grill that he bought. So we've got to help him with that. We're going to be basically at my parents' house all day for the most part. So yeah, we're going to be basically making our rest day tomorrow, and we'll figure out our schedule, especially for automation week. We'll figure it all out. We'll get it posted on our social medias and on the post tab, you know, on the community tab there on YouTube. Thanks, Majestic. Yep, definitely. And thanks for stopping in. So, yep, we'll get it all posted. And I think I'm going to go ahead and, yep, we're going to stop here. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you, Majestic, for popping in. And everyone else that may be lurking, it does help us out there. If you like the content, please hit the like button. Don't forget to share it, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're on Twitch, don't forget to follow us over there. If you've already subscribed and followed, Thank you. It does help us out. And with that, I'm going to stop my yapping and get on out of here. I hope everyone has a good weekend as well. This is Silver Shade Sand. Gamers don't die. See you at the respawn point. Bye, everybody.